All right, awesome. So I think a couple more people are still jumping on. I know a couple people weren't sure if we were going to still hold a call today since we had a pretty busy Monday. But on that note, I wanted to give out a couple shout outs just to start. Michael French, he was this your first super ticket that you ever sold was yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So I got an update yesterday. We ended up having Amanda go over and help him because we were, spread so thin. I think we had 8 or 9 events yesterday, or programs, I should say. And so, do you mind to share just kind of how it went? Because I heard it was super successful.
Well, it was very successful, thanks to Amanda and a person that I'm trying to get to come on board. And
Okay.
having the three of us there really made it work a lot better than just having one or two people. Um,
Yeah.
I let the ladies do majority of the talking, and I kind of did crowd control and shoved everybody over there. And
Yep.
um, I mean, your mom is amazing, and when she puts that school teacher voice on, look out.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
So it was just good. It helped that we had no other on-course fundraising going on by anybody, because it cost 750 just to play
Wow.
on that event. So
And this
um,
was a $25 ECP that you sold for $50, right?
correct.
Okay. Um,
Yeah.
do you mind
Being
to share either like a tip that you had or the girls had for selling or even just getting it added into the such a good event? This was put on by the Marriott, if I'm not mistaken, and it was
correct.
fundraising for Brady's Children's Hospital.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And because they didn't want to have any other on-course fundraising because they were already asking 750 a player just to show up. Um, it made it very much easier to sell it at the gate there,
Okay.
because we could actually tell them, hey, this is a one-time thing. You're going to just add this, and it includes all these games. You're not going to be asked for any more money on the course. This is it. So I think that really helped to sell the concept.
Hmm.
But hopefully next year we can build that into the registration fee and then have the on-course.
Okay, awesome. Well, amazing job. I heard you guys sold well over what you needed to. For anybody who is new to the super ticket concept, whenever you're selling them at registration, you basically write an agreement. Say for easy numbers, they're expecting 100 golfers. So if you do a $25 ECP like Michael French did, they would be expected, to fill a $2,500 like contract with us. And so they ended up selling well over 50% of the golfers. I think about 33 more than what they needed to just break
we,
even for our costs.
we ended up with 81 sales out of 104 expected,
Oh, nice.
contracted for.
Okay. So yeah, so if they were expecting 104, they would have just needed to sell to 52 of them. So they were about 30 over and just did an amazing job. So then that way, not only did the tournament get, all these different contests and prizes and $100,000 shootout and all these different things, but this also became a fundraiser for them. So for anybody who's new on the call, definitely dive into the player packages. And if you get a hold of a tournament, too late to build it into the entry fee, give it a shot. If you have extra help that morning of, it'll definitely help, sell it. And we'll go over that on another call. But great job again, Michael French. I'm like, you're booking so many events. So I'm glad that you're able to get on and give some 2 cents on how yesterday went.
Still trying.
We had another record for our SoCal team yesterday. Sally is not able to join the call today, but Sally was out at Aliso Viejo doing a bigger golf tournament. They had sponsors on every single hole, and she wasn't sure how many of those were actually going to be fundraisers, but there was a long drive hitter only 2 holes behind her. Thank goodness it wasn't the other way around. But Sally ended up raising just around $3,700 yesterday. She did the TSP and she built in like those Cancun cards. And I was hoping that she could get on and kind of give some tips and tricks, but she was sending me voice recordings, telling me that she was trying to, slow down that pitch because it, or make it more concise, I guess, because it was just such a long, pitch to go from, hey, minimum $20. And if everybody donates, you have a one, you're in all these contests. But if anybody wants to donate $50, now you have an opportunity to win the Cancun cards. But obviously, you shouldn't have any issues no matter how long it was, raising just under $4,000 at a tournament yesterday. So amazing
That's
job.
amazing. Yay, Sally.
Yes. And then we had a long drive hitter who was actually just a golf pro. We were spread so thin that I didn't have anybody else to cover a crank it hole. And luckily, a tournament that we had yesterday at Eagle Glen, they were okay with me switching it. So I sent out a friend, Andrew from Orange County. He came and hit, and he hits the ball a long way, 350 on average. It's not, 483 or in the 400s like our long drive guys, but he's consistent. He's got a great personality. And he raised right around $2,200. We gave away some drivers for the tournament since they didn't want cash, and that went great as well. But just great job to everybody. We've had some really high numbers, some new hero courses coming in. And before I forget, we actually had Brett and Carter out in Florida. They just did their first tournament on Friday. The tournament was supposed to have anywhere from 60 to 70 golfers. We just set up, the one hole, and the boys went out there together, but Brett did all the talking, and they ended up with 36 golfers. And Brett was able to raise $1,070. So well over 100%. He implemented those Cancun cards, and this was his first time ever. So I was going over the pitch with him the night before. The boys were,
Nice.
FaceTiming me, showing me like, okay, is this how we set up this and whatever in the garage? And I couldn't be more proud of them. So great job, Carter and Brett out in Florida. Now, my last shout out is for our new Hawaii team. I don't know if they're on the call yet, but Braden came on board a little while ago. And we also have Matt Jessup out there as well. They're on the same island. They were a little, nervous about, hey, we only have so many courses out here on the islands. Are you sure you want two of us? But Matt being a veteran, and Braden being such an amazing golfer and already having connections with the golf, courses and stuff, I thought, oh gosh, like I don't know if there's a better duo for something like that. So Braden went in on his own while Matt was doing finals last week, and he got his first ever hero course. And they want him to start on Veterans Day weekend. So the boys are definitely feeling some pressure, but also some excitement. They're like, oh gosh, we should have gone to courses sooner. Everybody's going to want Veterans Day. So I'm excited to see how the rest of the week goes for them as well. On that note, you guys probably saw an email that I sent out that I had received from David Wills. And it dawned on me that our training does not cover white labeling at all. And so after hearing how much success his Alabama team is having with, making sure that when you're in these different golf courses and talking to them about the hero program, to not bring up white labeling is really doing, everyone a disservice, because when you kind of break it down, by being there and helping with any golf tournament that they host, that's helping the golf course, the most. As we're helping them grow their event and making it more exciting, that's bringing in bigger players, bigger sponsors, which is more money for the course. It's better for the charity that's involved. And obviously we make great money implementing all of our programs as well. So David, I had asked him if he wouldn't mind just kind of, hopping on, bringing up a couple maybe tips and tricks that the guys are using to get so many courses white labeled. And so David, if you're available, I would love for you to share with my team how you guys are having so much success with that.
Awesome. Glad to be here. Hey, before I start, Audra, on the 4,000 was raised at the Hero, how many players was it?
She hasn't sent me her numbers, but they were looking for anywhere from 120 to a full field, or they're hoping to have, between 120 to 144.
Okay, so let's say it was 144. She should have raised $2,800 there, $2,900 if we're just doing our $20 normal routine.
Yeah.
And she raised $1,200 more.
Yeah.
So this is, that's huge. And that additional money helps. It's an additional 25% on $1,200 that's going to the cause. It's kind of like doing the hero drivers.
Yeah.
And you make more money.
And Sally does a thing. She likes to just do first place for closest to the pin. If we have really big numbers, then she'll split it and do first and second. But she was like, you know what? I just did one place, and that player was so excited, winning like what was it,
$400.
$370 or $380. So yeah, I'm like, that's definitely gonna help ensure that she gets back into that tournament when somebody wins money like that for closest to the pin.
Okay, so, and again, appreciate you having, look, your dad's calling me. Boom. All right, hang on a second. Gotta answer that phone. Hey, hang on. Hey, don't say anything rude, because I'm on the Zoom call with Audra's team. Can I call you back? Okay, all right, bye. He always says something rude to me to start the phone call. Just kidding.
Bye,
All
Dad.
right, so white labeling. All right, now, if you listen to Jay, speaking of Jay, if you listen to his presentation, which he arguably is the best at presenting the Hero program to golf courses. Would anyone argue with? You could try and argue, but he knows the program. He created it. It's his baby. He's passionate about it, and it clearly comes across in his presentation. Now, when he was creating the Hero program, he understood that was what was missing with us doing the crank it holes and the long drive entertainers when the company first started was a real relationship with the golf course, a real relationship, not us just coming into this golf course 2 or 3 times a year because we just happened to be there because a tournament was having an event there. No. Actually entering into a relationship with them through the Hero program and it being a two-way street. Okay. So this whole concept is really, really genius and special. And if you're not using it to its full potential, you need to get to that. You need to get to that. Okay, because I was talking about my team today, kind of scolding them in a way, a warning. It was more of a warning. There's organizations out there. There's organizations out there that might like to have what we have. They might like to have what you have. You personally, your golf courses, your relationship, they might want that. And I was warning my team that if you don't have a solid relationship with your golf course, you put it in jeopardy. You put it in jeopardy. Now, what do I mean by that? What do I mean by that? Well, if you are just coming and going and doing Hero days, you're coming and going, you're giving them 10%, and you maybe said hi to 2 or 3 people when you went through. You came through like a whirlwind. I got my paycheck. I'm done. Is that really what we're about? Okay. Is it really what we're about? Because that sounds like more like our competition as they scorch earth and burn through golf courses. And I get some people are their people skills, their outwardness sometimes makes it awkward to talk to people. But at the point you are with this company, and you're talking to hundreds of people on a golf course by now, thousands, depending on how you should be through that. Okay, I'll give an example, and I'm leading all to this white labeling. I did a Hero Day last week, Friday, at one of the Austin municipal courses. We have all 6 of the municipal courses in Austin starting in March. It took us 3 years to get them. That's not a joke. 3 years is Austin through the pandemic. Now we are out there regularly at all the courses, having a great time. I send them pictures. They post it all through their social media. And we had a hole-in-one on one of the courses, which I hope all of you have seen that interview I did with the hole-in-one guy. Awesome. That was on Fox News, blah, blah, blah. Okay. pumping the hero program and the golf courses, pumping the hero program and the golf course relationship. Friday, I'm out on the course. I'm getting set up early. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. All of a sudden, I see all this commotion going on with the golf, the maintenance guys and the greenskeepers, and they're dragging cages around. And so, I'm like, what is going on? And here they have a hog problem at that course. And the night before, there was a pack of 11 of them that literally destroyed tee box number 6. It's gone. Like, you can't find any grass on it. Completely destroyed. And they tore up, I wonder what it was, tore up the fairway of the par 3 I was at. But anyway, I walk over. I'm helping them move these cages around because they want to trap them, of course. I'm moving these cages around. I'm talking to everybody that's there. Next thing I know, comes up on a golf cart and he's like checking progress, is the boss of all the golf courses in Austin, Steve Hammond. He came up, and there I am getting my hands dirty with the maintenance guys with these hog cages. And he just looked at me and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, well, it seemed like they needed some help, and I haven't got to my first set of golfers yet. And he looked at me and we started talking, and he's like, I gotta say, I love the sound of the program when you talked about when we talked about it in the beginning. Okay? And he's like, I knew this was something we needed to be involved in, but in 6 months now, he's like, you just proved my point. And he's like, I'm not going to tell you if I had some naysayers in the Austin city network that really ultimately helped make the decision. I'm not going to say if I had some naysayers, but you changed all of them if there were. You changed all their minds. Okay. So do you think at any of those courses, or if somebody actually got a hold of and talked to him and they came in and they said, hey, we would like to do our program at your course, what do you think he would say? Okay. Now, this is a relationship we're talking about. And part of it, a big part of it, is we're just not there to take. Now, what do I mean by take? Well, the only way we can raise $1 to help our veterans and first responders is we have to be on a golf course. Have to. That's the way our program works. Okay? We have to be on a golf course. We have to be out there soliciting and talking to golfers and getting donations, right? The only way that happens is the golf course has to let us go out there. Okay. Now, that's taking. They're giving us something. Okay. Well, in some relationships, that's the way it goes. It's just a one-way thing. Hey, even for a great cause. Not here. Not here. And Jay and everybody, they set this up of a relationship that goes both ways. Yes, we need this to happen, but in turn, this is what we're going to do. First, we're going to let you white label in our free hole-in-one. Free hole-in-one. Okay? With all of your tournaments, potential tournaments, and tournaments that you already have on the books. And it goes this simple to the golf course. I always tell my golf courses that I'm talking to, listen, just keep it simple, stupid. Kiss, okay? All you have to let the tournament know is we have a third party that's offering you a free hole-in-one at your tournament because you're bringing it to our golf course. And they're even going to help you raise some money for your event. Is that something that you're interested in?
Sounds like a no-brainer.
Yes, I'll put you in touch. Okay. They don't have to talk about how many yards, who gets what, the $3,500 split, the closest to the pin, the virtual give back. They don't have to talk about any of that. Hey, we've got this third-party organization because you're bringing your tournament to here or thinking about it. They're offering you a free hole-in-one at your tournament, and they're also going to help fundraise for your event. Is that something you're interested in? Now, when you make it that simple for the golf course, do you think that they're actually going to propose it? Yes. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? If you make it complicated and you're trying to make them the closers, they won't do it. They won't. Trust me. I write books on sales. They won't do it. Okay. And so now, do golf courses have other things that they white label in for tournaments? Audra, you're very experienced with tournaments. Do they have other things that they white label in?
I'm like, it depends on the course, you know? I'm like what their connections are, but I'm like, not really outside of like food, you know?
No, most of them do. And here's have anybody ever heard of the Tiger Hole? Anybody ever heard of the Tiger Hole?
I've heard
Tiger
of it.
Hole is a national program that all the golf courses offer their tournaments. What's the Tiger Hole? It's a theft of our Crank It Hole.
I've heard
It's a
of it.
theft. Okay. They get to hit on a long par five. They get to hit their second shot from where Tiger Woods would have hit his first shot. Okay. What does that sound like? Oh my goodness. Like the ripoff is crazy. Yes. And they have other things that they will do on course to try and do what for the tournament? Build value in having the tournament at that golf course. Does anybody here know if they provide things for a silent auction directly through the golf course?
I don't know about silent auction, but I've definitely heard of them giving like free rounds and stuff for like raffles or their player prizes and stuff.
Have any of you seen like when you go out and do your holes and then you come back in and we're getting ready to do on a table is a bunch of like pictures like this, and it's of a 3-day getaway to wherever. Here's the silent auction. Here's another hunting trip to wherever. Here's the silent auction. All those are provided by the golf course. If they sell, the golf course gets a piece of it. Okay. Those are provided to the to the tournament to help bring value to the tournament and the players that are there. Okay. So is this something brand new, outrageous? Nobody's ever heard of white labeling any? No, of course not.
No.
This has been going on a long time. I'm going to tell you something. Trust me. Okay. For those of you building your relationships with your golf course, and you start this conversation, I would start it with this. It's the same thing as talking to a tournament. Hey, what do you guys white label in for your tournaments already? And listen. Okay. And hear what they have to say. It's going to be some interesting stuff. To me, it's all pretty dumb stuff. I've walked into a tournament where the golf course had already closed them on 2 white labeling events on the course. And I said, we're not doing either one of those. We're going to do the Crank It Hole. We're going to do the Hero Hole. And the tournament's like, yeah, that's what we want to do. The Crank It Hole and the Hero Hole. Okay. I literally stripped the golf course. No, they weren't a hero course, but I stripped the golf course of that. Why? They don't care. They really don't care. It's something they offer to try to build value in the relationship with the tournament. Okay, now this flyer right here, this flyer is on the CRM, okay? And this is the generic staple that you would give to the golf course. Now, take some time. I need to get with Leslie, and there needs to be a major change. See the line that says free gift bag for all players valued at over $10,000? That needs to be reworded.
Yep.
Free virtual gift bag with thousands of dollars in offers and gifts. It needs to be changed, okay? Because we're not literally giving them a gift bag that's got $10,000 of stuff in it.
Yeah.
It's a virtual gift bag with offers. Okay, now I changed mine and I saved it, and now it's in the template. Now, do you see the pictures? Do you see the pictures? Don't leave those pictures there. Okay, go onto their website and pull some pictures that they use on their their media and crop them and put them on that right there. I'm gonna tell you something. When I send mine to the golf courses, they're like, holy crap, how did you get that done? Those are our pictures. I'm like, I know. Awesome.
Can you guys see
Yes.
the screen? Okay.
What do you say?
I don't know if you guys can still see.
Great point. I always either take pictures myself or go on their site and change it to that. I also put my contact information at the bottom of the flyer.
That's the last thing I was gonna say is, listen, no offense against the company and corporate. Don't send them to the home or home office.
Yeah.
Make sure you have there you go. See that? What a difference. And some of them, especially the country clubs, they have magnificent photos. And when you put it on here and you put the logo on there, I mean, it really stands out and it really pops. So yes, down at the bottom, for questions, please reach out to blah, 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 blah. Okay. Yes. Make sure that's on the flyer. Then I would walk in with several copies of this in color, and I would also then email it to them and say, here you go. Because you have partnered with us in this tremendous cause to help save and better the lives of our heroes, I want to offer this to you. There's nobody that does more charity events than us on the golf course. No one. We bring that experience. We bring that excitement, okay? The knowledge, the professionalism, the reputation.
Mm-hmm.
And we want you to white label in our free hole-in-one to your tournaments. Okay. Yes. This is all you need to do to present it. You make it really simple.
Mm-hmm.
And what tournament would not want to take part in that? Would not, or at least have a conversation about it with us. Okay, now, the other thing. What's the other major thing that we do to show the golf courses it's a two-way street and anybody can chime in? What's the other thing? The second thing, the two-way street. This is number one. What's the second thing?
You mean like the crank it hole or doing a player package?
No, not events,
Okay.
not packages.
No,
What's the
even
other-
even
What's
with
that?
even with a TSP, you're still driving business back to the course.
I'm not saying about what we do on the course.
Hmm.
What do we do when we're talking to the golf course and we're talking about this two-way street? We want you to white label in our hole-in-one, and also to help build and drive business to your golf course. We're going to advertise your course as a hero course on that actual virtual gift bag that we're handing out to hundreds of thousands of golfers nationwide.
Yeah.
Your course, the virtual gift bag. Damn.
We're so awesome. We are awesome. I have to say, we're pretty awesome.
Yeah. Now listen. Thank you. Thank you. Now listen. If all of your hero courses aren't on the virtual gift bag already, whose fault is that?
Ours.
And that is wrong. That is really wrong. Okay. Because again, this is about the relationship with how, if another organization, the dark side, if they came into a golf course and you set up white labeling and you have them on the virtual gift bag, every time you come in there, you're high-fiving everybody. Hey, what's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And as another organization comes into that golf course and says, we would like to come in and do our program here, they would like, get out.
Yeah.
Get out. Okay. Yes. If you're not doing the white labeling and you don't have that golf course on the virtual get back, get that changed. Get it changed. Now, I have some golf courses, they're like, well, we don't really want to offer a discount or anything. And you know what I did? I just went in and I built it that it says, thank you to our veterans and first responders on behalf of Wolf Dancer Golf Course. And we thank all the golfers for coming out and participating in the Hero program.
Yeah, just have them highlighted on there somewhere with their name. It doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
Proper.
But
like
there it is,
private
because
courses.
then when you go in, after you set it up on the amp, when you go in, you can pull it right up your phone. I said, this is how it looks. This is how it's going to look on every golfer's golf right there. You see that? Then they're going to say something like, could I put a discount on there? Sure can. Sure can. Sure can. We can change it. Yeah, sure you can. Because after they actually see their name, their logo, this is going to be, as Jay would like to put, always says it, they're going to pull it up on the most expensive real estate on the planet, somebody's phone,
Yep.
and it's right there. They're going to want to get the full effect off of that amp.
I want to pull that up.
Okay. Now, I'll end there. And you guys heard me the last time I talked about the two customers that bought cars. The one that nickeled and dimed and still bashed the car, the dealership. And then the one customer that paid sticker and gave the dealership fives across the board. And it all comes down to their sense of value. Their sense of value. Okay. Yeah, there it is. And the more, what is the golf course giving up? What is the golf course giving up? Well, in their eyes, they're letting a fundraiser come out on the course and speak to their golfers and ask for donations. And that's it. What's the upside? Well, every time we're out there, we're generating revenue. They're going to give 10. We're going to give 10%. In that case, that Audra was just on, we just gave $400
Yeah.
to the golf course, and that's 10 players or 12 players, or depending on the golf course, you know, whatever rounds of golf. We gave it to them. Also, you get to white label in a free hole-in-one from the #1 or company helping charity organizations with golf tournaments. #1, you get the white label in our hole-in-one. Everybody loves that hole-in-one. Everybody loves it. All tournaments love it. You get to add it into your repertoire. So when you're talking to tournaments, hey, by the way, we got this as well. Okay? And we're just going to happen to advertise your golf course in front of hundreds of thousands of golfers nationwide. Now, would a golf course ever say, well, why do I care if people in New York are going to say it? Well, I don't know about your golf courses, but here in Austin, this seems to be a centralized location for people coming in from all over the world, including this last weekend for Formula One. But every time I'm out doing a Hero Day, I had 12 golfers, all from Ireland. 12. Okay, 3 groups of 4. And I'm like, hey, what's up with you guys? Because it's very thick Irish accents. And they're like, oh, well, every year we go to several places across the world and play golf. And today, this weekend, we're here. I'm like, holy mackerel. Now, these weren't even Americans. These weren't even Americans. And they still all donated. You know why they donated? You know why they donated? Because the United States military has kept their asses out of trouble as well. Okay. Yes. So listen. Yeah, there's people that would see that advertisement on the amp right there, and they would like, hey, let's go to Austin, or let's go wherever in California, let's go to Arizona. this is a hero course. They're helping our veterans and first responders. Let's check it out. Plus, they're giving a discount. Let's go do it. Yeah. Listen, free advertisement. Free advertisement to millions of golfers. This is not an ad on TV. Okay, that people zone out. They are looking at it on their phone. They're looking at it right there. It is.
Mhm.
Okay? Yeah, and then they open it again and again and again. So I'll leave it there because I could talk. Obviously,
No, this is
but
perfect.
always, Audra, thank you for having me on. And anyone has any questions, just let me know.
Yeah, and like I wanted this call to just be focused on white labeling really, outside of our shout outs for having such a big weekend. But I know you guys are absolutely killing it in Alabama, Texas, all your states. And so thank you so much for making the time to just hop on here and explain for our teams as we're starting to grow how important it is, since we don't have that in our training currently. So if you guys
Love it.
if you guys have any questions, once I send this out, I know quite a few people weren't able to make the call, then just get a hold of us, because this is absolutely going to help you not only close a new course, but solidify like that relationship forever. And it's going to only blow up your business that much more by getting all of their tournaments. So
Audra, before you sign out, can you bring my screen up by any chance? I'd like to show you the white label that Leslie has worked up for me.
oh, perfect. Yeah, let me stop sharing, and then I think you just have to request to share.
Okay.
While you're bringing that up, I love what David talked about with making sure that your courses are on the virtual gift bag, because I can't even tell you how many times I did reference the other courses on, the virtual gift bag. Like, get on there. We're updating it every day. We're adding courses every day. I talked about Hawaii, Florida, Texas. I talk about like, hey, let's go. There was a guy that he's a pilot. I'm like, when are we going to Hawaii? When are we going to Florida? When are we going to, Texas? I'm joking around talking to them about that kind of stuff, but it does make them think, and they see the value of, our virtual gift bag that's in their hand and on their phone. So thank you for reiterating that, David, and really putting a fire underneath our butts of making sure our courses are on that. I think that's something that needs to be reminded. We need to be reminded that they need to be on there. It needs to just at least something that says, hey, Pechanga, we're here, or hey, whatever the course may be, it needs to be done. So thank you for that. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Audra, it says that you've got the sharing disabled.
Oh, okay. I'm like, I don't know. Let me see. Advanced. Okay, all participants. Here we go.
Okay, there we go. Can you see that now?
Oh, that's beautiful.
So at the top, she fixed it to where it says virtual gift bag valued at over 10 grand.
Perfect.
And then these are pictures from the course. And then down at the bottom, it says brought to you by Elite and the golf course.
Oh, I like
And
that
it's
your info's on there.
got all my contact info.
And did you just email Leslie and ask her to put this together for you? Okay. And do you know what the turnaround time is so people have an idea?
This was done so long ago, I don't really know, and I don't know what her current turnaround time is. I would say give it at least a week.
She does have a lot of requests.
I mean, she's got so many different things she's doing. So I try to give her at least a week, but I put this and all of the other premium courses that I've got. I carry that in my presentation book so that when I'm pitching white labels, I can say, hey, look at so-and-so, your neighbor here is doing this. You can make it too. And we can customize it for your course. It makes it a lot easier to close it.
Oh, I love that. That looks great. I know David and we always try to get stuff done ourselves. So let us know too if you guys are having, to wait a little bit with Leslie's help, just because she does so much, for, as far as marketing for our company and running her own teams and stuff. One of us might be able to help as well and just kind of figure it out for you guys.
Hey, Audra,
Yes.
one last thing on the white labeling. So
Okay.
you're gonna start to get phone calls from the golf course, or actually from the tournaments. They're just gonna refer you, and then you're gonna start getting phone calls or emails from the tournaments. And you need to talk to Audra. She's your team leader. But with my team, that phone call with the tournament needs to be about one thing and one thing only, and that is the hero hole.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that initial phone call. Close it down, or or they don't want to do it. Okay, I've never had that happen, but the talking about here now. In a follow-up email, I will say, by the way, we also have other programs to keep in mind for next year as we look to go bigger and better. These are some other things that we do for tournaments to help them bring excitement, raise more money. Okay, now, because
Love
here's the thing, you don't want to burn that relationship with the golf course. I mean, that the tournament's relationship with, because you don't want the tournament to go back to the golf course and say, oh my God, that David Wilkes, first of all, he's really loud and he is so pushy. Okay. He's really pushy. He's pushing a bunch of other stuff and we didn't like it. You just never know with people. You
Yeah.
never know with people. And so you talk about the hero hole specifically. If they like it, great. If they don't, okay. Thank you. This was just offered because they are a hero course partnering with us to do this. And then in a follow-up email, when you're secure, like say, okay, this is everything we talked about with the hero hole. This is how it works. By the way, we also do this. Okay. Now, how many times, Audra, you know this, how many times are you going to get back to you and say, hey, by the way, what's this crank hole thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I didn't push that on them. I didn't push it on them. I just offered information through an email, and then they contacted me about it. Does that make, so I did want to add that.
Yeah, that's
And
good
again,
point.
it's all about preserving that relationship with the golf course. Thank you.
I'm like, no, that's perfect. Yeah, don't overwhelm them. Let them know you're going to send them our deck so you can see all the options, whether that's for this year or future events, but we just want to help them with that one program. So that's perfect. Does anybody else have any other questions about white labeling or anything? Okay, perfect. Well, it sounds like we ended up covering it pretty well. So thank you so much, David, again, for hopping on here. I'm going to stop the recording so that it's easier to send this out to everybody. It's just this one topic. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much.